everyone, so it's 5 Pack Friday, and most of the questions I got were about Philly. So I thought I would take you guys with me to the post office and I could answer a few questions. One of the questions I got was, why did you choose to live in Philadelphia? And I love Philly. I was born here, and then my parents moved out like an hour away when my brother was born, but I love Philadelphia. I moved back like 5 years ago. That seems like a long time, but I moved back. And for me, like, why I love living here is the cost of living here is really inexpensive. And like, John and I bought a house and I can get everywhere I need to go. The transportation system is like available wherever you need it. And it's pretty easy to figure out. Like, whenever I'm in New York, I'm like really helpless, but in Philly, it's perfectly fine. It's really cheap to get around. My old house was a 5-bedroom that I paid like $230 in rent. Well, in the winter, the bills were really high because it was a big old house, but I love Philly. I got the question, where would I like to live if I couldn't live in Philadelphia? And I don't have like this great romantic answer. I would honestly there's this like rundown apartment below my parents' apartment, and if anything, like, if I could live where my parents live, like in that neighborhood, and had a car and everything, I would probably rent out that apartment and fix it up. That way I could be closer to like my family and my brothers, and I feel like I could really help them out. Like, I could make dinner and stuff. That little apartment has like a little kitchen, and I feel like I could give my brother like a place to be if he didn't want to be upstairs. Like, he could come downstairs and like be with his older sister and, like, I don't know, watch my TV or whatever. If John would live there, like, my brother loves John, they could hang out. And like, I could make him food, or he could be like, can you drive me to the mall? Because I don't know, he's getting there, he's becoming a teenager, so I wish I could be there for him. Like, I wouldn't move to Japan or anything. I would move closer to my family. I think I've said this before though, I really don't want to move. I love it here. I love the busyness, and it's loud, and everything's always happening, and something's always going wrong, and I think that's the environment that I thrive in. I originally moved here like as an artist and as a student, and I used to share a bedroom with a girl, and I just had a mattress on the floor, but I loved it. And the beautiful thing about Philadelphia is, when I lived with my parents, I would feel so lonely because I didn't have money to have a car, and I didn't have money to go out to eat, and it was I don't know, the nighttime would come so fast, and I would realize, like, I'm so alone and I have nothing to do. And in Philadelphia, I've never felt that. And there are the days where I don't leave the house, and the times where I don't have anything to do, or none of my friends are available, or the weeks where I don't have friends, but I never feel alone. You can always just open your window and hear the city, or hear the people, hear someone fighting, hear the bus go by, and there are times when the bus is the last thing I want to hear, but it's a constant reminder that there are people all around me, and I love it. I really didn't think that I would, but yeah, sometimes the people bother me, and yeah, sometimes I'm harassed and terrible things happen and it's awful, but it's great to be a part of something alive like Philadelphia. Hey everyone, I'm home and it's time for official 5 Fat Friday. I wanted to film the rest of this outside, but some of the questions pertain to being inside, so here we go. Thank you again for everybody who's reached out about the Bronco. Our only update is Ryder finally responded to us, but they are really playing hardball. We gave them all the footage that we had, and they replied back to us and said, "Man, it's a real shame that you can't see the impact." Written statements from everyone who was outside, so we've been trying to collect that. It's really hard. They're really putting us through a loop, even though we have video footage and you can see the man. But that's the update on the Bronco. Thank you for everybody who's been so supportive. Yes, I wish Ryder had a Twitter too, because I have a couple things to say. Yeah, so the one question I got is, where do you get all your prints to adorn your wall? And I'd love to go through it. Hello. Okay, standing up. This is as tall as we get. Alright, that's as tall as we get. So up here, you can see this is where my photo wall starts. And it starts with this Qcknd print. You can see it has all these guys. And this right here. And those are the tallest things I have. So Qcknd is the artist who created all these little things you might see that I have, all these little guys. And I first heard about Qcknd through Kid Robot and the collaborations that they did together. But Qcknd is also an independent artist. She makes a lot of prints like this, really bold character prints, and I really love it. So I love everything by Qcknd. I bought these prints off of Society 6. This other stuff I have, you may recognize. Can I just pull this off? You may recognize this. It's always here. And I get a lot of weird comments about it because it says NYPD, which may be controversial for some people. But the meaning behind this isn't I support the NYPD, hearts and XO, because you can see this poop right here. So my friend painted this, and TMI, he actually painted it, I think, after he got arrested in New York City. Just like a bad experience that he had, and I don't really think he was ever at fault. But I love this, and it's like a real honor that he gave it to me. You can see that it's printed over like this old like manga. And then he painted right over it with his friend who does this, and then it has like their little thing right there. So this is Mike King's early work, and yeah, it says NYPD, but I'm keeping it. I don't care what you guys say. Yeah, someone was like, "Look at her wall, she can't be trusted." And I was like, what? You can find his comics online. He makes comics now, and he's great, and he's also an apprentice for tattooing. So I have this right here from Mike, and it says for Qcknd, and then it has Mike King right here. So I have that, and then right here I have this print, and I also have another print by him, and this is from my friend. He goes by Fork Rodman, and I really love these prints. This one with the boys walking under the bridge is my favorite one. Then this is by Mike King too, and this is a print from Ashley Love, who does some of my tattoos. I love that, so I have that by Ashley. And then I also have this by Ashley too. You've probably seen it around. And I got this from her at the tattoo convention that was in Philadelphia. I like to support my artists and have some of their art in my house, as well as my body. Then these are just pictures like I took myself and put in frames. And it's a picture of John's old truck, but we got into a car accident in that truck and we totaled it. Well, we didn't total it, it wasn't our fault. And then this is a picture of my old house that I used to live in West Philly. And I like these pictures together because they're both kind of things that our heart was for, and now we no longer have them. So I have them together for us, and we can look at them and cry, or we can feel good about them. Where I keep a couple more of my Qcknd little guys, and I did post this on Instagram. It opens up like that. I got it at the thrift store, and then this is kind of a cushion. So I have these push pins to hold some of my keychains. But honestly, I have like an infinite amount of these, like off to the side. I have a bunch. So I try to just like rotate these and give everyone a fair chance to be displayed. But these are the guys that being displayed right now. I have this picture of my friend Alyssa and I at Coney Island. And I have like a stranger took this picture of us. I think it's really good. And then I have this A that I really like. And our friend like sent us this in the mail. And it says that he made it at a screen printing thing. This is the first image I have ever screen printed. I thought it was really cool. I like when like John's friends like include me in this because it says to John and Amanda. So I think that's really cool. So I'm keeping it over here for John and I. It's kind of a weird shape or else I would have framed it. But I think it's really cool and like I can really appreciate our friends getting involved in stuff like that and making it. So it's cool. And he just like wrote right on it and then mailed it. And he drew this picture of John. That looks just like John. When I first moved into John's house, like I really wanted like a space to call my own within his room. And I think that really helps our independence, but like still sharing a space because I can come over here and see all these different things and have my like little table and everything and I can look out the window. And it really feels like my room, but without like taking anything away from John. And like, yeah, I have art around the rest of the room, but like I loved having this little corner and it being mine, and I think it really helps me. And I can film in front of it, which is great. I like that too. So that's this area and some of these photos explained. So the question is, how do you like living in Philly? I currently live in Portland, but I'm thinking about moving to the east, preferably Philadelphia. And I'm really excited to answer this question, but my disclaimer is that it's my personal experience and my personal opinion based on my life experience. To start off, I love Philadelphia. I think it's a really easy city to live in and get by without a lot of money in your pocket. I think Philly attracts a decent amount of tourism, even though it's mostly just like kids from the suburbs driving into the city for like Friday night or whatever. I think that all of this tourism kind of means that a customer service or like a hospitality job, if you have any experience with that, it means that you're guaranteed like a job in Philadelphia. Because Philadelphia is like a really old city, there's a lot of housing and stuff that you can find pretty cheap. And it has all the quirks of like living in an old house, no AC, issues with the pipes, freezing cold winters. But I mean, I lived in a 5-bedroom house so comfortably. I shared it with upwards of 6 people at a time and sometimes paid like less than $200 a month. So I think that that's great. As much as I love Philly, sometimes I hate it here too. I mean, if you decide to take on that customer service job, you're gonna find out really quickly that Philadelphia attitude is like a true thing. Like, my grandma called me the other day about that hitchhiking robot that went all around the world, and then when it got to Philly, they smashed it. People can be really mean or like try to get over on you, so I would say like just keep your wits about you. If your friends have ever described you as book smart but not street smart, I think that Philadelphia might not be your city. Just because sometimes like if you get a bad feeling or you know you don't belong somewhere, you really need to act on that feeling. I don't carry a knife or pepper spray, but I also don't really travel around at night on foot. Yeah, Philly has some rough spots, but you can normally feel out like where you don't belong. And, you know, don't be stupid, don't try to prove something. If someone asks you for directions and they get too close, just keep walking. But, you know, sometimes it works out. Sometimes people really are just asking for directions, but like, don't be stupid. Can you give me directions? I think is the #1 line for you're about to get robbed, and that's the complete truth. So yeah, like if someone's asking you for directions, take 5 steps back and be like, it's over there. I mean, getting around in Philadelphia is one of the main reasons I moved here. It's a really bike-friendly city. There's bike lanes that'll take you to and from, and most people follow bike lanes and most people are into bike advocacy, so I mean, you just have to be a strong biker. I love SEPTA, our transportation system. I mean, People from Philadelphia, I'm sure, have like 1,000 negative things to say about SEPTA, and I do too. One time my train caught on fire. I love SEPTA, I'll say it. But you know, on SEPTA, I've been flashed, I've been harassed, and it's a shame, but it's kind of all a learning experience for next time. Like, one time I did have to report an incident to a detective, and it was really awkward, but after that, she gave me a lot of tips about next time. And yeah, there was nothing she could do about what happened to me, but she taught me like where to stand on the platform, where the cameras point, what to do, what seats to sit in to be safe. And yeah, I wish the whole train was safe, but it's cool that she could give me advice like that. Common sense is important in Philadelphia, and sometimes you gotta expect the worst or know that the worst might come to you. You know, if something bad hasn't happened for a little while, maybe be on your toes a little bit. But yeah, other than that, I love Philadelphia. I love being here, and I think this is where I'm going to stay. But I had one more question today, and this is getting really long. So I had one more question today, and it was, what is your favorite tattoo? And what does it mean to you? And I've been avoiding this question because it's not the first time I've ever gotten it, but I don't really have a favorite tattoo. You know, that's not really how I wear my tattoos, or it's not like why I have them. And, you know, it's not fair to pick favorites. I mean, I get my tattoos for different reasons, for like all different times in my life. Like this is from a bad breakup. This is for Scrubs because I love JD. I got this tattoo because the artist didn't want to do a circle, so I picked something that was square. I just pick a lot of different things. Sometimes they're just like song lyrics that I think of. Like, I have a Joanna Newsom tattoo, and I love her. And I have another Joanna Newsom tattoo, and yeah, I don't really have any favorite tattoos. Sometimes I get them for bad reasons, or like things that happen, or just ideas that I have, and I don't hate any of my tattoos. Some of them are the worst tattoos I have, but sometimes it's silly. Like, I can tease, I don't know, my tattoo artist can make fun of me for having bad tattoos, and it's fine. Even some of my worst ones, I'm not getting removed. I'm really not the right person to ask. I really don't have a favorite tattoo or a reason that I have a favorite tattoo. They all come to me for different reasons. Sometimes I just really like an artist. Sometimes I really am in the mood to be tattooed by a woman. It just, I mean, this rose is because this blank spot was driving me crazy. These arms, the blank spot was driving me crazy. I would look in the mirror and it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I don't know. There's not like one where I'm like, whoo! They're just on there and they're a part of my body. And that would be like, hey, what's your favorite freckle? But I do have a favorite freckle, so that's not a good example. But I don't know. Like, but I'm also the type of person, like, if someone was like, what's your favorite movie? I don't know. What's your favorite band? I don't know. What's your favorite shirt? I don't know. I don't pick favorites. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks to everybody who's been so supportive this week. Thanks to everybody who's placed an order on my Depop. So far, I'm caught up with all of my orders. Everything has been sent out as of this minute. Thank you so much for the support, and I love you guys. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you get your 5 Fact Fridays in. You can always send them to me on Snapchat. And I quickly want to say, if there's something you want me to see on Instagram, please hashtag it Qcknd so I can see it. If you just @ me in it and someone comes along and likes every photo I've ever posted, it pushes it to the bottom and I don't see it. And I know somebody did my iced coffee recipe. If you could just hashtag your stuff Qcknd that you want me to see, it's the best, like, most guaranteed way I'll see it, or tag me in it so I can look at it later. If you do one of my recipes or you want me to see anything, please hashtag it Qcknd so I can click on it and view it, because I was heartbroken. It's nobody's fault. Like, it's great if you come and like all my photos, that's great, but if someone comes along and likes every single thing, everything from that day is pushed to the bottom and I don't see it anymore. So hashtag anything you want me to see, QCKND, Quiet Cool Kid, no doubt. And that'll guarantee that I can see it and I can reply and get back to you. I would love to see your recipes or anything you want me to see. Thank you so much for sometimes people at me and things that they think that I like, and it's great. I do like those things. Thank you so much, and subscribe, get your friends involved. Let's all hang out and be quiet cool kids, and until next week, bye.